Hey guys, welcome back again to Practical Therapy. I am going to share on a topic that I've had a couple parents talk to me about it through messaging, just saying that they think that this would be a good topic. And then I really focused a lot on this topic with a parent in a session today. And then I have a good friend, Kristen, who shared with me about this technique, and I looked into it, and I'd kind of heard of something like this before, but she had kind of a good experience with it. So I thought, okay. And so I started looking into it more and sharing about it with some of my clients, and they've had good experiences with it too now. And I'm thinking, okay, well, if this is working for the handful of people that I'm in contact with, then maybe it might work for a handful of you guys. So that's why I'm going to talk about it today. This technique and these tips are going to be focused on parents who want to work on managing their anger with their kids, kind of maybe just managing their tone, the way they snap at them. It really can help with managing whatever it is that you want to manage in your attitude towards your kids. It actually doesn't have to be, just anger. If it could be negativity that you say towards your child or anything. So just think of what it is that you want to work on with your child. But I'm going to use managing anger and the way that you talk to your child. That's what I'm going to kind of be using as the goal of this. So a recent article came out online by Kelly. She's a blogger called, she goes by The Reformed Idealist Mom, and she wrote on this, and this kind of is what's brought it back to the internet. But there's been other things like this about visual cues and rubber bands before, and the idea kind of goes with your heart can lead your actions, right? If you want to change something, you think you make the decisions in your mind and your heart, and then you change your actions. Okay, so your heart can change your actions, but behavior can also help change your heart. And so this kind of goes from that idea that doing something, some type of behavior, some type of visual cue is going to help you change your heart and your mind, and make you think twice before you do something that you don't want to do. So the way that the technique works is you take 5 hair ties, rubber bands, whatever that can go around your wrist. I only have 2 because I'm probably not going to do this personally. But if you want to use hair ties, you can use hair ties and rubber bands. I can't think of anything else off the top of my head that you could do, but really it's anything that you can put around your wrist. And the way that it kind of goes is you put 5 on, say, your right hand, okay? And whenever you say something that you don't want to say, so you snap at your kid, I don't need to give an example. Anyone who's a parent knows what it looks like to snap at your kid. So say you snap at your child, then you're going to take 1 hair tie and you're going to put it on the other hand. Now, the goal isn't to avoid getting all 5 onto here. The goal is to actually keep all 5 onto your right hand, and the way you can get it back. If you put it on your left hand, the way to get it back is using the 5-to-1 ratio. In research and in psychology and in marriage and in relationship counseling, it's a 5-to-1 ratio, meaning for every 1 negative, you do 5 positives to balance it out and to earn trust back. So you snap at your kid, then you need to try and do 5 positives with that kid in order to get it back on the wrist. And you can do this even with like multiple kids. Say you have 5 kids, you have 5 hair ties on your wristband. If you say something bad to Molly that you don't want to, then you just have to do 5 positives with Molly and keep track of that. But also if you're like doing something with Sammy and you lose your temper with Sammy, you can be doing your positives with Sammy and Sarah and like balancing it back and forth. It will take some brain power, I'll give you that. It's going to take some brain power, but I think this is a really good skill and technique to do for parents that are committed and really wanting to change. So if that's you, this will work for you. I really think half of growth and progress is about the heart and the mindset and the desire to really change and grow. So do 5 positives, and then you get to put the hairband back over on here. 5 positives can look literally like anything positive. It could be an apology, a good example for your child to see the modeling of what it looks like to apologize, take responsibility for an action, and talk about how you're going to do better. Hugging the kid, cuddling with the kid, taking the kiddo to the park and sharing some quality time, having the kiddo get their favorite dessert and letting them know, oh, I'm going to make sure you get your favorite ice cream today, or something like that. So anything that your child is going to view as positive, that goes under the category of positives. So just 5 positives to earn that back. And then some big things about this is you don't want to wear the hair ties all the time, like 24/7, because you want to remember that they're there. You don't want to forget that they're there, and you don't want to get comfortable with them and they just become kind of like an earring that you don't even realize you're wearing, right? So you don't wear the hair ties until you see your kids. So say you get up at 5 a.m. and your kids don't get up till 7. That's probably not the situation for most of you, but anyway, say you wake up kid-free for 2 hours, then you will not put the hair ties on until you actually see your children. And then once you see your children, then that's when you put them on, like, okay, get the positive attitude going on, the patience going on, you get your mindset right, and then putting these on is going to help you get that mindset right. When you drop the kids off at school, hair ties go off, and you'll put them in the cup holder in the van. And then when you pick the kids back up, then you put them back on. You also can put a timer on your phone, like, oh, I'm going to have the kids back at 3:15, because you might not remember where you put them down, or you won't remember to get them, and that's okay. So some of you might need to put a timer on your phone to remember, oh yeah, that's right, I'm back with my kids. I need to put these things on. So of course, tweak this for however it's going to work for you, to be able to remember to put these on and off, because it's not going to be at the forefront of every single person's mind the entire time, probably, and that's okay. And then when they go to bed, then you take the hair ties off. So you never want to be wearing the hair ties or the rubber bands unless you're actually physically with at least one of your children. And so that's going to help you just be really mindful of what you're working on too, right? If you're putting them on and taking them off and putting them on and taking them off, you're going to be really, really mindful of, oh yeah, this is something I'm working on and I need to focus on it and I need to kind of just be aware of it. So, I think that's pretty much the way the technique goes. I don't think I'm forgetting anything. I can put a link to her article in the comments here. So for anyone who wants to read her full article, they can read it. And then she has links in her article for where she's kind of done her research and read about this. I really think that this is great for any parent who is wanting to work on something that they feel like they're doing with their child too often and they don't want to do it. So honestly, if it's, being emotionally manipulated, I work with some moms that give their kids like everything that their kid asks for, because they have don't judge, but they have a hard time saying no because of their background, their history, their raising and everything. And they say yes constantly to their child. And so their goal is to learn to say no. And their goal is to learn to set rules and boundaries. So if you're feeling like your kids are walking all over you and you're saying yes too often, then you can wear these. And every time you know that you kind of just let your kid walk all over you, then you put it on your wrist. And then to earn it back over, having a mindset of moving forward to where you're not going to say yes. And if you do set a good boundary and you don't say yes too easily, then you put the rubber band back on the other wrist. So you can be creative. I really don't want to put this in some kind of tight box. I think it's actually a really good tool to use for so many things. So, tweak it and make it your own also. Feel free to make whatever goal it is for you and think on your own of like, okay, what does it look like to take one off and move it to the other hand? And what does it look like to, be able to move it back? I mean, use this for yourself any way that you want, because the truth is mainly the foundation of this is visual cues are going to help. They do. And so make it your own and just find this tool to be a way for you to help yourself grow in the way that you want to in parenting. You can use this in marriage. You can use it in whatever. So that's pretty much what I got for today. I'm pretty excited because it's actually working really well for one of my moms I work with. Her kid has been was screaming and yelling and being really, really angry and disrespectful towards her, and he was getting in a lot of trouble for doing that. And then he kind of just called her out in therapy and was like, "Well, this is what you do." And she was like, okay, that's true. And so, really, you're gonna, if you yell at your kids a lot, you're gonna kind of eventually probably see it within your kids. And so, thinking about the role modeling that you want to do for your kids and making yourself into a healthy role model for your kids is definitely a good reason to do this. All right. Thanks for tuning in, y'all. And it's like 9:40 here on the West Coast. So I'm doing a really late video. But I still really wanted to talk about this, so I came on even though it was really late. So thanks for tuning in. I see I got 2 viewers. I don't know who you are, but I see you guys watching live. So thanks for the support. And I will check in with you guys later. Have a good one. Bye.